Hey guys, this is Paco The Realtor Podcast number 7. Today is a follow-up to one of my last podcasts about why realtors have a shitty name and why they provide so little value. And why 80% of realtors are in that boat. And how to spot them and how to know the difference. Alright guys, so I did a podcast a few podcasts ago about why our industry sucks and why we're surrounded by realtors that don't know what the hell they're doing. And I had a lot of comments about that, and so I figured I'd go into more details and give you 17 reasons why we're in the boat we are and why people feel so negative, maybe that's not the word, why they feel they can do this on their own, or why they feel that what we provide has no value. So, reason number 1, we just show houses. That's it. You send us a list of the properties you want to look at because everything's online. We open the door, we make an offer, and it's done. Transaction coordinator takes over, and now they are handling all the paperwork, and you just wait to get paid. That is probably 80% of realtors out there. The value that they are not providing comes in negotiating the offer, knowing what the market is doing. Can you market? Can you offer below? Can you offer above? Can you ask for closing costs? How many offers do you think it's going to be? Do you think it's a buyer's market? Do you think it's a seller's market? When you were looking at the houses, is that home being sold at market value, above market value, below market value? Is it the only one listed at that price, so you're going to have a lot of competition, or is there 6 other ones listed that haven't been able to sell in 6 months, so you know that you can offer below? That's the value we bring, data. But when you don't bring that, and all you do is open doors, of course, we are going to see as not providing any value. And that is 80% of the damn realtors. 2, we have no expertise. How in the world do you expect a buyer and seller to trust us, value us, when if you're representing a buyer, all you do is open doors, and when the shit hits the fan, you don't know how to solve it? Or if you're asked to sell a house and you negotiated the commission to be the cheapest, and that's why they hired you, and the shit hits the fan again, and you don't know what to do. There's no expertise there. Expertise, the value a real realtor provides is we know we can anticipate. We anticipate the problems we potentially can have based on the expertise and the experience we have. And then we anticipate it and we prepare for it. We prepare you for it. Perfect example is you're selling a house and a buyer makes an offer. And you can already tell that the buyer is nitpicking. You know he's a nitpick throughout that process. So you already have to put your foot down and tell the buyers, as is, only cosmetic. There's certain things we can do because we already know, I see where you're going with this. And that is a second reason why agents don't provide any value, is because there's no expertise behind it. They're just licensed. Sellers saying, I can sell my own house for sale by owner. Why do I need you? Why do I need to pay all that commission, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000? For what? For you to put a sign up and put it on the MLS? We just got lawsuits that show that I no longer have to pay the buyer's commission, or whatever it may be. Well, again, it goes back to the same thing. You negotiated the listing based on charging the least amount of commission. So because you charge the least amount of commission, you don't pay for professional photos, drone, 360 virtual, video. You don't know what the market is doing. You don't know if you're the only one that's being sold in that neighborhood, or there's 6 other ones. So you don't know how to price it. Do you price it below to get more competition? Do you price it right at? I mean, what's the strategy? The strategy is dictated by the market. Or do you just kind of listen to what the seller has to say? Well, there you go. No expertise, right? No expertise whatsoever. You just kind of wing it, put it for sale, put it on the MLS, take the photos with your iPhone, and just hope for the best. Third reason why we are perceived as having no value. Fourth reason is when showing houses, I kind of use it as an example, is that if I'm a buyer, why do I need you to just open doors and get paid? You're only chasing a commission. So there's no value in the how to offer the contract, what the expectations are. I can navigate this on my own. There is some buyers and sellers that feel they can do it better than you. What in the world ever gave them whatever made them think they could do it better than someone who's licensed? It's that you suck balls. That's why. It's that their experience is, if I'm buying, they didn't do shit for me. If I'm selling, they just put a sign out. If I'm buying, all I did was open doors. Again, of course, they're going to feel they could do it better than you. As opposed to someone who shows them that we're going to help you. Here in California, it's a very litigious state. Contractually, we're going to make sure if you're a seller, you don't get sued. And if you do, there's nothing come back on you. If you're a buyer, that they're not hiding anything from you. That's going to cost you money later on down the road. Reason number 6 is that part-time agents who shouldn't be in the business, they're just licensed. Let me be very clear. There's part-time agents out there that are excellent agents. They actually care. They know what they're doing. They're just doing it part-time. But I would argue the majority of the part-time agents could care less. They are just licensed agents. And I've had this discussion before. I've done a video on the difference between a licensed agent and a local expert. Someone who actually knows the market. Someone who actually looks at the data. So, that was the 6th reason why agents provide no value. It's because they're part-timers. They don't invest the time, the energy to learn the expertise, to learn what the market's doing. I don't care if you're full-time or part-time. But if you don't know what the market's doing, you don't know how to educate and set the correct expectations, you're useless. You are absolutely useless to your client. Like the example I used earlier. That agent that submitted an offer $15,000 below, when I told her she didn't get the offer, she told me. I told them, offer what they want. And the buyer decided they knew more than the agent. And this agent is actually a good agent. They knew what they were doing. But they had to listen to their client. And I will argue again that 80% of part-time agents, they don't even know what to say. Okay, whatever. They don't care because they don't have the expertise. 7 is they have no expertise. Not because they haven't done a lot of business. It's because they don't invest in their education of what's going on in the market. I keep coming back to that. Being an expert is knowing what's happening in the market. Good, bad, and ugly. And guiding your clients based on their goals around that. Being a licensed realtor means, you have a client who needs to sell right away because of a divorce or whatever, versus a client who can wait. I just had an appointment with a client yesterday, and I told them to wait till October, November, 4th quarter. Their situation dictated that if they bought a house today, they already own one, they would be at a disadvantage. So I told them wait till November. How many realtors will do that? Very little, because they want to get paid. Reason number 8, horrible communication. It's funny. You communicate with them when you're making offers, and then you stop communicating when you get them under contract. Or, as one agent put it at one of my open houses, they made an offer in another house. It had been a week and they still don't know anything. It still showed active on the MLS. Still showed active, so it showed that it was, at least if the agent doesn't communicate and the listing shows on hold or pending, they went with another offer. You can see it. You don't need to talk to the agent for that. But it still shows active and there's no communication. That's a horrible agent on the listing side. But the communication, that's probably the number one complaint we get. My agent just did not communicate with me. Most agents are not problem solvers. It's the opposite. When the shit hits the fan, they run for the fences. That's where my value is. That's where the expert's value is. When the shit hits the fan, we know how we stay calm, and we know how to maneuver, and we know how to problem solve. Most agents do not. That's when you stop hearing from them. That's when they no longer know what to do. Reason number 10. They don't know how to guide you. Based on your circumstances, they should know how to guide you, whether buyer or seller, based on what's going on in the market. And this is why you always hear every joke about realtors say, no matter what the market's doing, it's always a good time to buy and sell. That ain't the case for everybody. They don't know how to guide you. Reason number 11. They leave it up to the buyers and sellers to problem solve and find the vendors. I'll give you an example. I'm buying a house and I have a pull issue. And they call you up and say, hey, my pull pump's not working. No return phone calls. Now they got to go out and find a pull guy to fix it. Seller, hey, I want to sell my house, but my pull's not working. Okay, well, you need to get it fixed. Let me know when you're fixed. And then I will sell it for you. As opposed to, I have a pull guy, let me call them. They do not have the sphere or the people to solve your problems. So they leave it up to you. Reason number 12. Agents suck at marketing. The majority of it. That's why you've never heard of most of them. Their social media consists of a sold sign. Or, I love this one. I am a licensed realtor. If you know anybody who's looking to buy or sell, why don't you have them call me? There's no value in that. None whatsoever. There's no educating. There's no investing in the eyeballs that are seeing you. None of that. So why in the world, if you wouldn't invest in you to figure out what they want and give it to them before they need it, why would they invest? Why would you expect the buyer or seller to invest in you just because you put on your Facebook that, hey, you're in the market? Reason number 13. You suck at sales. This has to do, as an agent, there's no value. This has to do with negotiating the contract up front, negotiating the repairs on the back end, negotiating if there's an appraisal issue, problem solving when something comes up. This all ties into the problem solving part. Most of agents suck at sales, meaning they are not able to navigate around these contracts. And they just hope and pray that no issues come up. Hope and pray is not a strategy. So they suck at marketing and they suck at sales, which leads us into what we call reason number 14, DNA agents. A DNA agent is a part-time agent, or they could be full-time actually, who's licensed, who only does business with family and friends because they are hired just because they know them. That's it. Has nothing to do with value. You're just a friend of mine and you're licensed and I assume you do good. Those are DNA agents, friends and family. And that is 80% of realtors. There's no value there other than, I know you. And that's a shame. Reason number 15 is that agents take the test to be licensed and assume because they're licensed, they know what they're doing. In order to have value to your clients, you have to know what you're doing based on what? Based on the fact that you have experience, based on the fact that you problem solve, based on the fact that you know the market, based on the fact that you know data, not that you're licensed. And most realtors get licensed, go on Facebook and say, hey, look at me. I'm licensed, hire me. And that's where they stop. No ongoing education, no nothing. Reason number 16, they only want commission. We all know that realtor who does not do anything for their client. We literally tell them, get out of the freaking way. Just shut up and get out of the way. They only want the commission. Well, guess what? Buyers and sellers, They see the same. They see the same. And reason number 17 that realtors are perceived as crap in general is because they don't care about the buyer and seller. And I'd say this is the biggest one. They don't care about you. They care about the commission check that comes attached to you. So how do you bypass all these people? By asking the question, are they licensed or are they experts? And how do you know that? Look at their social media. Ask questions. Ask hypotheticals. Are they problem solvers? Are they aggressive? Do they know the answer to the questions? How do they market? How do they market themselves? Is a great reflection of how they're going to market your listing. If you're a buyer, the question you should ask yourself is, do they know how to negotiate contracts for me? Do they know the market I'm in? Days on market, prices, what's happening? If they don't, run. Run. I hope you enjoyed this podcast, and this is aimed to educate people on our market, buyers and sellers, to know the difference between the expert and 80% of the riffraff. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. If you like this, add the little bell, like, share, and I will see you next time.